one-step equations, we get to two-step equations. The reason these are called two-step equations is because next to the variable, instead of just having one number, now we have two. So we're still going to use the inverse operation. Almost all of our steps are going to be exactly the same. Except instead of just solving one thing, each problem is now going to be solving two. So I still want to see those lines down through the equal signs on every single one of those equations. Because remember, the equal sign is always in the middle. It separates our two sides. The most important thing for two-step equations that you have to remember is that we have to make sure we go in the correct order. So right here, I have my x. That's my variable, so that's what I want to get completely by itself. Right now, what's touching the x is the 3. They're closest together. So anyone who's close together, we call that our best friend. We always have to keep our best friend until the end. So right here next to the x, we have a 3 and a 5. We're going to have to get rid of both of them. But when we choose which one to get rid of first, we always keep our best friend and get rid of the other one first. So if I'm going to keep the 3 with that x, I have to get rid of this 5. And remember, to get rid of an addition, we have to subtract. So to get rid of a plus 5, the inverse is minus 5. But don't forget what you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other. So since this minus 5 is on the left side of the line, I have to minus 5 on the right side of the line. So positive 5 and a negative 5, 5 minus 5 is 0. Now when I bring this down, instead of just x, I still have 3x. On the line is my equals, and 17 minus 5 is 12. But now, I still don't have the x by itself. That's why this is a two-step. This was the first step by subtracting the 5. We still have one more step to go. Now this 3 is touching the x. Remember, touching means multiply. And how do we get rid of multiply? By dividing. So to get rid of a multiply 3, I have to divide by that 3. But remember, what I do to the left side, I have to do to the right side. 3 divided by 3 is really just 1. So I have that 1x on the left side. On my line is where I put my equal sign. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. If I plugged this 4 back in, it should work in the equation. Well, if I plug 4 in and they're touching, that means multiply. So 3 times 4 is 12. And 12 plus 5, that does get me 17. Then I know this answer is correct. So as we move over here, what's my variable? That's right, it's the y. And the number that's touching the y is negative 6. So those are best friends. We call that number the coefficient. The number touching the variable is always the coefficient. They're together. Co means together. So that's the best friend. If negative 6 is the best friend, we keep the negative 6, but we have to get rid of the other one. Well, 28 has nothing to do with y, so I don't care about that one. I need to get rid of this negative 8. And how do you get rid of a subtract 8? Adding 8. And what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So different sign, subtract. Negative 8 and positive 8 can cancel out. Make sure we bring down, it's not just 6y. What do we have right there? That's why I always circle it, to make sure I remember it's actually negative 6y. On the line is where I put my equal sign, and 28 plus 8, I get 36. Now, is y minusing the 6, or are they touching? Remember, they're touching, and touching means multiply. So to get rid of multiply, I have to divide. If I just divide by that 6, what's still there? Shoot, I still have a negative. Well, then I can't do that. That means if I have a negative on the top, I also need a negative on the bottom. So if I'm dividing by -6 on the left side, I also have to divide by -6 on the right side. So those two negatives cancel out, and I still have y equals, and 36 divided by -6 is -6. For the last two-step problem, now m isn't touching a number multiplying, but it's in a fraction with a number. So those are still best friends. So they're going to stay together. So if the m and 3 are going to stay together, which one do we need to get rid of? The -10. And remember, to get rid of a -10, we just add 10. And what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So a -10 plus 10 is the same as 10 minus 10, so it's 0. When we bring this down, we still have m divided by 3 equals 15. Remember, most common mistake people do is they see a 3 on the bottom here, and they put a 3 on the bottom there. But what you have to remember is, I didn't put that 3 there. It was already in the problem. So what I have to do is get rid of that 3. To get rid of a 3 on the bottom of a fraction, I have to put a 3 on the top. Putting it here, do 3's cross out on the bottom of the fraction next to each other? No way. So make sure you use the correct format. The 3 on the bottom needs a 3 on the top of the fraction in order to cross out. So which 3 did I put there? Well, the 3 was already on the bottom in the original problem. I put the 3 on the top. So if I multiplied 3 on the top on the left side, I have to actually multiply by 3 on the right side as well. So I can cancel those 3's and I still have m. And 15 times 3, I get 45. If you're doubting yourself, take that answer and plug it back in. 45 divided by 3 is 15, and 15 minus 10 is how we get that 5. That's how we know this is our correct solution.